Deep in the heart of the African wilderness, something astonishing unfolded that left both scientists and rescuers speechless. It was a rescue unlike any other. A massive rhino, one of the most powerful and majestic animals on the planet, was found trapped inside what appeared to be a giant snail shell. The strange scene looked almost unreal, as though nature itself had played a bizarre trick on one of its greatest creations. The story began when local wildlife rangers noticed that one of the rhinos they were tracking had not been seen for several days. Concerned, they launched a search operation through the dense jungle, following tracks and faint signs in the mud. Hours later, deep within a swampy clearing, they discovered something incredible. There, half sunken in the mud, was a huge spiral shell, glistening in the sunlight like polished stone. But as they got closer, they saw movement inside. To their shock, it was the missing rhino, alive but trapped, its body partially encased in a thick, hardened mass resembling a snail's shell. At first, no one could understand how such a thing was possible. The rescuers examined the strange formation and noticed that it wasn't an ordinary shell. It was made from layers of hardened slime and minerals, fused together over time. Wildlife biologists later theorized that the rhino might have rolled into a swamp area filled with giant snails known for secreting thick, calcium-rich mucus. The mixture of mud, slime, and minerals had gradually solidified around the rhino's body, trapping it in a heavy shell-like casing that restricted its movement and threatened its life. The rescue operation began immediately, but the team soon realized how difficult it would be. The shell was incredibly tough, almost like stone. Any careless strike with a tool could injure the rhino's thick but sensitive skin. The team decided to work slowly, using chisels, heat-resistant cutters, and water jets to loosen the hardened material. Veterinarians stayed close by, monitoring the animal's vital signs, while others poured cool water over its body to prevent overheating in the intense afternoon sun. As the hours dragged on, the tension grew. The rhino's breathing was labored, and its strength was fading. The rescuers worked tirelessly, carefully chipping away the shell piece by piece. Every time a chunk of hardened slime broke off, they moved closer to freeing the helpless creature. It was a race against time. If they delayed too long, dehydration and exhaustion could become fatal. The scene was both heartbreaking and inspiring, humans and animals united by a silent understanding of survival and compassion. Finally, after nearly 8 hours of non-stop effort, a loud crack echoed through the jungle. The final section of the shell broke apart, and the rhino, covered in mud and slime, slowly began to rise to its feet. For a moment, it wobbled weakly, then let out a deep, guttural snort that echoed across the swamp, a sound of relief, power, and freedom. The rescuers cheered, some with tears streaming down their faces. It was a victory of patience, courage, and the human spirit's determination to protect life in all its forms. The rhino was immediately transported to a nearby rehabilitation center. There, veterinarians cleaned its skin, treated minor cuts, and applied soothing ointments to prevent infection. Over the next several days, the rhino began to recover its strength. It ate heartily, walked slowly around the enclosure, and even wallowed in the mud, something it hadn't been able to do for weeks. Each movement was a sign of gratitude, a living reminder of the bond between man and nature. News of the rescue spread quickly. Wildlife organizations and conservationists around the world praised the team's extraordinary work and highlighted the incident as a symbol of how unpredictable nature can be. Even the strongest creatures sometimes fall victim to strange natural traps, and it is human compassion that often makes the difference between life and death. The event sparked discussions among scientists about the rare minerals and organisms in that swamp region, and how such an unusual phenomenon could occur again. After full recovery, the rhino was released back into its natural habitat under close supervision. It walked confidently into the wild, its thick skin shining under the sun, free once more. The rescuers watched in silence as the powerful animal disappeared into the green horizon. It was a moment of peace and triumph, a reminder that every life, no matter how large or small, deserves a chance to survive. The story of the rhino trapped in a giant snail shell remains one of the strangest yet most inspiring tales of wildlife rescue ever recorded. It is a testament to the resilience of nature and the courage of those who dedicate their lives to protecting it. In the heart of the jungle, where life and mystery intertwine, this incredible rescue will be remembered as a moment when humanity reached out and saved a giant from the strangest prison nature had ever built.